I won't call it a media organization, your group of individuals need to take accountability for some of the polarization that we're seeing in this country. And I think Canadians are cluing into the fact that there is a really important decision we take about the kind of country we want to see. And I salute all.
Anyways, he rambles on there, but he's basically saying, I don't listen to courts because my father taught me I'm above that. And you're just a woman, and I don't have to deal with you. And if my father were here, he might slug you in the face, but I'm a male feminist, so I'll just disparage you.
We're all in this together.
We've come so far in the fight against COVID, it's time to finish this pandemic for good. So get vaccinated. If you know someone who hasn't, talk to them. For our kids, for our communities, for our economy, it's how we get forward together.
Vaccines are safe and effective for use. Vaccines are the best way for you to protect yourself, your family, and your community. So get vaccinated. Let's fight COVID-19 together.
Pour vous protéger vous-même, pour protéger les plus fragiles d'entre nous, pour protéger l'ensemble de la population, le meilleur moyen connu demeure le vaccin. S'il vous plaît, soyez responsables, soyez solidaires, faites-vous vacciner. Merci.
We all agree getting vaccinated is the way forward. We're all in agreement this is not a partisan issue, so please get vaccinated.
We're united, and it's time to get the shot. Vaccines save lives, they're how we're going to beat COVID, and it's time for everyone to do it. Get the shot.
Get the shot.
We are not all in this together. In fact, there's a party leader out there who's at 11% in the polls, who was not invited in that room, who I think he would probably say, get the vax if you want it. But he wouldn't say, as those 5 people in the room do, you must get it. That was a misleading public service announcement. Because I don't think anyone is denying that there should be the right to have a vaccine. I think the debate, and it was not highlighted because they wanted to talk about global warming instead, is should people be forced to take a medical injection on pain of losing their job or not being able to fly or get on a train or go to school or things like that. We are not all united. And we don't have to be united on everything. That's what's lovely about a free place, is you can live your life as you wish. Can you call up Jonathan Goldsby's Twitter feed? He made a chart. I love this. You know, I like The Rebel. You may know I founded it, and I'm the president of it. And I regard it as more than just a job. I regard it as a mission. To be dramatic, I might even call it a calling. I don't use that word a lot. My friends here, but even I don't follow Rebel News as closely as this guy. This guy's like a stalker. His name is Jonathan Goldsby. He's the editor of a left-wing podcast called Canada Land. Anyways, I'm not saying, I mean, listen, I love The Rebel. I just don't have time to watch everything on The Rebel. I just don't have time. Luckily, we've got great editors who do. But this guy, anyhow, so I love this chart. He says the leaders were asked a total of 36 questions in tonight's post-debate scrums. The Rebel tied with Radio-Canada, that's the way of saying the French CBC, for the most, at 4 each. And so he's got this chart. He made a pie chart. I can't do that. I don't have those mad skills. Would you know how to make a pie chart? Not like this on Twitter, yeah. So you can see we tied Radio-Canada with 11% of the questions. National Post had 2. Our friends at True North, that was Andrew Lawton, had 2. The Wire reported 2. TVA, that's a French private broadcasters, La Presse Canadienne, Canada Press, and then everyone else combined had 18 questions. So I'm really proud that we had 4 questions. Now, it should have been 7. But they refused to take our questions over the phone for the first half hour of the whole thing. And that is unethical, and that's contrary to the court's orders. But you know what? We still did a great job. And just for context, the day earlier, the Prime Minister said, you Rebel News types are liars, you're misinformation, you're spreading misinformation, you're polarizing the country, I don't like you. Now, that's actually not true. We don't publish fake news. We've never been accused of that by any social media platform. We have never had anything taken down because it's fake news. This is not true. I don't think there's any fact-checking agency that said anything we've done is fake. Maybe I've forgotten something or missed something, but I just never heard of it. On the other hand, Trudeau's campaign was tagged by Twitter for manipulating facts, for manipulating the truth and twisting it. So it's a bit of a pot calling the kettle black situation. But Alexis starts off and says, "You demonized me last night. I have a real question for you. Please don't demonize me again. Please answer this real question about the vaccines." And she puts the real question of the vaccines, but it's a hard question. And instead of me describing it to you, let me show it to you. Do we have Alexis' question and the answer? Here, take a look.
Bonjour, Monsieur Trudeau. Alexandre pour Rebel News. Donc, Monsieur Trudeau, je vais revenir rapidement sur ce qui s'est passé hier. Vous avez diabolisé l'un des rares médias qui ne reçoit pas d'argent du gouvernement. Vous avez exprimé votre opinion en disant que nous propageons la désinformation. Si c'était vrai, et si c'était le cas, la Cour fédérale ne nous aurait pas permis d'être ici aujourd'hui. Je suis moi-même scientifique et je me base sur les faits. Ma question est la suivante. L'Israël est l'un des pays les plus vaccinés au monde. Ils sont rendus maintenant à leur 4e rappel de vaccin. Ils ne considèrent plus que ceux qui ont reçu 2 doses de vaccin sont pleinement vaccinés. Ma question est, plusieurs Canadiens ne désirent pas avoir un rappel de vaccin. Allez-vous leur enlever leurs privilèges reliés au passeport vaccinal? Et aurez-vous l'obligeance de répondre à ma question en tant que Premier ministre ou allez-vous encore diaboliser mon média?
J'ai partagé ma perspective sur ton organisation hier soir. J'ai plus rien à dire.
Ça demande bien qui vous êtes. Merci.
There was nothing unfair. There was nothing partisan. There was nothing hostile. There was nothing aggressive in that question whatsoever. In fact, it was said, I'm not going to say in kindness, but in good faith. It was, look, you diabolized, what a word. You diabolized us. You devilified. That's what diabolize means. Diablo. You demonized us yesterday. You said we'd create fake news, but the federal court would not have accredited us if that were true, she said.
I have a question from Tamara Ugolini from Rebel News.
Mr. Trudeau, the only reason that I'm allowed to ask you this question is because today the federal court ruled that the government doesn't have the right to determine who is or is not a journalist. This is the second election in a row that the court had to overturn your government. Do you still insist on being able to make that decision, and why?
First of all, questions around accreditation were handled by the press gallery and the consortium of networks who have strong perspectives on quality journalism and the important information that is shared with Canadians. The reality is organizations like yours that continue to spread misinformation and disinformation on the science around vaccines, around how we're going to actually get through this pandemic and be there for each other and keep our kids safe, is part of why we're seeing such unfortunate anger and lack of understanding of basic science. And quite frankly, I won't call it a media organization, your group of individuals need to take accountability for some of the polarization that we're seeing in this country. And I think Canadians are cluing into the fact that there is a really important decision we take about the kind of country we want to see. And I salute all.
Anyways, he rambles on there, but he's basically saying, I don't listen to courts because my father taught me I'm above that. And you're just a woman, and I don't have to deal with you. And if my father were here, he might slug you in the face, but I'm a male feminist, so I'll just disparage you.
Oh, hi. Hi, that was a clip from our Rebel Daily live stream. It's hosted Monday, Wednesday, and Friday by the big boss man, Ezra Levant, and Tuesdays and Thursdays by me, Sheila Gunn Reid, and my good friend, David Menzies. On the live stream, we talk about the news of the day, we show some videos, and we interact with our viewers at home. We stream at 12 noon Eastern, 10 Mountain. You can find us on YouTube, Rumble, Super U, and Odyssey.